Hi, this is Jeremy Burgess, the Detroit market expert from Urban Detroit Wholesalers. In this episode of Detroit Investor TV, we're going to talk about what makes Detroit such a challenging place to invest in. I thought I would follow up with my last one, location is everything. But then I had the idea, I probably need to elaborate on what makes Detroit such a challenging place to invest in. First, the interest in Detroit is for obvious reasons. Prices are incredibly low. This attracts a lot of investors. There's not too many places in the world, especially in America, but even in the world, where you can buy houses this nice as cheap as you can buy them. Unfortunately, this does lend itself to a lot of different scams. Whenever you have this much interest in a place, unfortunately, a lot of good people are out there, more good people than bad by far, but it does bring out a lot of the scam artists, especially on the lower end property. That becomes a huge scam in and of itself. But I want to divide the problem, like the challenge, out into two. First of all, there's the location problem, and then there's the people problem. I feel like I discussed the location problem pretty well in the last episode, but I'm just going to recap it. No matter what else, if you buy in the wrong location, there's literally nothing you can do to fix that problem. You sell the property, you move on, even if you take a loss. If you bought in a bad area, bad block, that just can't be fixed. I've worked all sorts of creative ways, and it just ends up being you throw more good money after bad. That catches a lot of people, obviously, really, especially in the lower priced areas, particularly on the east side, where there's a large area of brick houses that look like $1 million, but the area just sucks. It just sucks, and it looks very appealing to the eye, but sometimes you can trust your eyes, and then sometimes you can't. And in this particular area on the east side, it's definitely one of the times you can't trust your eyes. The people problem, like I said before, you got a ton of interest in Detroit. Properties are so cheap. The scam artists come out, and especially if you're an out-of-state investor or an international investor, they really prey on you, unfortunately, because they can, because it's very challenging for you to verify and do the things, and prices to you might seem different because of where you're from. Like somebody might charge you, $3,000 to do plumbing, and little do you know that really you can do plumbing in a hot water tank for $1,500. So the things like that where they get you. So the people problem, your general contractor, that you really got to watch them. Get multiple quotes. If you're not going to work with a guy like me, it would behoove you to pay a third party to go get quotes for you and keep their mouth shut about the fact that you are an out-of-state or an international investor. Now, there are good people out there that absolutely will not jack up the rehab estimates. But unfortunately, there's a lot of them that would, as soon as they get the whiff that you're not here to verify, or they feel like they can take advantage of you. Second, and this is probably the biggest, is property management. This is the biggest scam in Detroit. Now, we need to be fair to property managers. If you made the first error, which is location, there's nothing that property management can do to help you. I find a lot of people get very angry at property management, and the property management company that I work with won't even take your bad property. If they go out and they look at it and bad area, they're not even going to take it. And they're not going to take it because it's not that they don't want to help you. It's that they don't want you trashing their name. They can't fix your location problem. But let's assume you bought a nice house, you rehabbed it correctly, you didn't get ripped off in the rehab was done correctly. And then comes time to property management. And here's some tips to look for if you're not going to work with a guy like me with property management. First, you want them to have more than 100 properties that they are managing. This means they have some sort of system in place. Second, you want to make sure they're licensed with the state of Michigan. You'd be shocked how many big operations are not appropriately licensed with the state of Michigan. 3, all they do is property management. If they try and sell you a house or anything else other than property management, run for the hills. On a good day, property management in Detroit is a hellish job. It's all time consuming. They can literally not be doing anything else. Especially if they are the ones that sold you the house. I would not use that property management company. It might be a great house. If it's a great house, buy it. But do not use that property management company. I like technology with property managers, so I put that on my list. Responds quickly to emails, phone calls, use of Skype, good online tracking, great accounting skills. But also, you kind of want somebody with some gumption, right? Tenants like to test property managers to see what they can get away with. Think of it like children testing mom and dad. You want somebody who's got the gumption to go out and knock on a door at 7 o'clock at night and say, hey, where's the rent? Where's the rent? We need your payment. That's something I also look for. You want somebody who has their own dedicated maintenance staff, which this is common, but they don't make any money on the maintenance. That's rare. And why this is important is property management is a numbers game. You got to manage a lot of properties to really make it worth their while. What I find a lot of property management companies doing is they will boost their earnings basically on your back by adding additional monies onto repairs. Now, I don't mind, hey, $10 management fee, I send somebody out. That's cool. What I don't mind is a $50 fix becoming a $350 fix and calling it an administrative fee. Or at worst case scenario, they don't even provide you with a copy of the invoice. They don't take pictures of what it looked like before or what it looked like after. That's a huge thing for me. You basically just want them to make the money from actually managing the property. There are good property management companies out there that do and operate like this, but those are the things you really want to look for as far as your people problem is concerned. And I would really not vary from this. I've gone through in my 6 years here in Detroit, I've gone through several property managers. Just like anything, like if you think of it like a football team, people come, people go, they're good, then they get bad, whatever. Relating to the people problem, don't be afraid to cut what was once your star quarterback when they are no longer performing where you need them to be. Let's face it, investing is a results-oriented activity. I think there is a place for loyalty, and I know I've been loyal to a fault, and it's bitten me several times. However, we are playing in a high-stakes game here, and we're doing this for a return on our investment. So that needs to be one of our highest priorities. So, relating to the people problem, if somebody's not performing where they once were performing and they don't make that adjustment after you correct them, it's time to start shopping somewhere else. And now that I started this video, I thought of like 100,000 other things. So what I do is I might make a series out of this. Okay, it's too long right now, but plus I'm only working on like 3.5 hours of sleep, so my thoughts are a little disjointed. I'm not sure how well received this Detroit Investor TV episode will be, but I just want to get this out there. There's the general idea. There's two problems to solve in Detroit: the location problem and the people problem. If you make the location problem, you can't recover. Good location, you still might have problems. If you don't have a good team, you don't work with someone like me. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the attention. Once again, this is Jeremy Burgess, the Detroit market expert from Urban Detroit Wholesalers. If you have any comments or you want me to cover anything, make sure you watch the previous episodes. But I love your feedback, guys. I haven't gotten any in about a week, and I could use your ideas, or if you have questions, go ahead and leave a comment, or go ahead and go to my website and shoot me an email or a contact form. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.